think the police is scum.
They think they're invincible in their uniform. Think they can do anything and stuff that they do. If we done stuff that they do, then we would be in jail.
I don't think much of the police.
Sometimes if the police ask you your name and it's an Irish name, they won't take it.
Because we come from a bog, that's why they're harassing us. If you come from somewhere like a posh kind of street, they wouldn't really worry. But
I feel like when they talk to me, like they don't even want to talk to me. Don't even want to look at my face and talk to me like other people they do too.
We're Republican, and the police would have different views on us. That's why they wouldn't be trusted.
Police in our area stereotype everybody.
They annoy us and harass us for what we do.
I just think they're very heavy-handed and quick to assume that it's us making all the trouble.
Police do a bit too much stereotyping.
Policeman wasn't fit enough to run after the attacker.
They're always on our backs.
We're constantly harassed by them.
I think the paramilitaries would deal with it more than the police.
They're always harassing.
No, when you're down up, when you get lifted and when you go up, I actually say something stupid, then maybe end up a bad thing you down there. Like.
I think most people don't respect the police because some people still have sectarian views upon them. There's more Protestant people in the police force than Catholic, don't they?
Catholics broke my brother's window. He phoned up and they never came at all. They never came. But whenever the police got a water balloon through the car, the pillars came straight away.
Cops will just harass you because you come from a Catholic estate. Even if you don't like Republican people, they'll still harass you.
Even though it's not the highest priority, I think it's the little things are every bit as important in many ways, and the way that they're dealt with.
One night I was walking home and I was pulled over by the Jeep and they were asking me who I was, what I was doing and where I was going. So I felt really intimidated about it.
These people just come up to me, didn't know who they were, didn't know where they were from, and they started talking to me. So I knew that they would follow me, so I come into my auntie's house and I told her, and she rang the police, and the police tried their best. And that's why I like the police, because when something bad happens, they could be there for you.
Friends who have had student accommodation in Belfast, and it's been a sunny summer's day and they've left the front door open. Policemen actually walked into their house, walked up their stairs, used their bathroom and then come downstairs and left.
I get attacked by a person. I seen him every day, but I get attack of him. And then when I went to school and they called the police didn't do anything. When I think about it, it feels like they're being racist or something.
The standards of human rights that we have in the North are wholly inadequate. I wholly endorse that, and I believe that it's very true, particularly for the protection of children and young people.
I don't think ASBOs work because no one actually agrees to them.
I think ASBOs are despicable.
I think ASBOs are a wee bit useless because most of the people in our area who you hear have them, nothing's changed.
I suppose ASBOs haven't been used that heavily. Sometimes the perception of what's out there doesn't actually match the reality. And I suppose from a human rights point of view, you want to make sure that it's not, that where they are used, they're not actually thrown out at people in an innocent fashion.
I am very worried about exclusion areas and curfews. I quite honestly, I don't subscribe to it at all. From a human rights perspective, I think it's going to be terribly problematic.
If the police were more friendly and they would help us out.
I'd expect the police officer to be someone who's there to help.
Your community officer actually is a good idea, because then if you had a community officer, obviously people would want to get to know him.
It could be better if everyone knew who was actually coming to talk to them that way, instead of just people who we've never seen in our lives coming and shouting at us and actually beating us with batons and arresting us for nothing.
I think if there was more ways that you could communicate with the police, it would help. Like if there was different helplines or different ways you could report people. Because the CRJ is a voluntary service, it's not always the one to do it to help the community.
I think youth conferencing helps you, they help teach you about the consequences and what you're doing, why you're doing it, and helps you think about stuff just.
CRJ would be as good as the police in that way anyway, but because in the police it's a full-time job, so they're going to be more committed to try and stop crime in the area.
That when people talk from their own experience to people of their own age about issues that are important to them, you get a truer picture about what's going on.
The police should come to schools and maybe talk about it and get to know some teenagers and stuff.
Not being as heavy-handed.
Focus on crimes being committed about the town instead of picking on people that's not committing a crime.
They should get like other police officers from like different races.
By having more people out amongst the state.
The police should start communicating with more children like our age or elderly people.
By like just getting to know us and not as human, and it's us doing all the bad stuff.
I suppose if you had a more informal relationship with a policeman, if you knew the ones that were in your area, you might be more likely to listen to them maybe after, say, alcohol's been taken or whatever.
If we're not causing any harm, like, the pillars should like let us drink.
It would be a really good idea if you knew who your like community officers were, because you would eventually build a relationship with them, and that always makes people feel safer.